Oh man. No intro. No intro.
No
Fuck that.
intro. Fuck it.
Between Icon and Rocket and Static issue number 2. Man, man, man.
Ooh, man, have the wheels come off.
Go ahead, brother.
Holy shit. Okay. Static number 2. We gave a review of number 1, and we said it was an average comic. Varnell came up on here, kind of tore the new one a bit, kind of brought to life certain things that we didn't catch up on. And so we get Static number 2 after about almost felt like a month and a half wait for this issue. And this was kind of the exposition filled issue, which is expected if you got a fast paced start with issue number 1. Usually issue 2 dials it back a bit. They got your attention. They're going to put some exposition and story and character development, all of that in number 2. Cool. No problem with that. But what we got was just a lot of fucking nonsense, man. So you end issue number 1 with Virgil's house being on fire, man. On fucking fire. The family is devastated. Hugo is literally like, oh my god, our house is on fire. Oh my god. Like, shit got real, right? With Hot Streak putting that was a foul move he did. Losing the fight and then like, all right, I got you, and put his house ablaze. In the first few pages, we established that Hot Streak was more flash than effectiveness because apparently the house suffered no real damage. None. Just the outside is just, slightly crispy, but inside everything's good. Everything's dandy.
Oh man, the
They can
Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is still hooked up, bro.
the Wi-Fi is still hooked up. Hell, the smoke detectors are still working. So yeah, that whole cliffhanger of the first issue was for nothing because there's no stakes to what's happening in the Static Shock series. It's very low stakes. There's no consequences to what's actually going on in this book. So yeah, Virgil takes care of Hot Streak. He basically flames out. He loses his stamina, whatever, and Virgil takes care of it. Cool. We get this boring ass argument between his mom and his dad about what to do with Virgil. His dad's like, we shouldn't take him to the doctors because they're gonna experiment on his black ass. And his mom's like, don't you tell me what they're gonna do to our son because I'm black and I'm a woman and I know exactly what the hell is gonna go on. We need to get him checked out and all this other bullshit. It's not interesting. It's fairly boring. I will say there's trying to do a little symbolism on this 4th page with him and his mom arguing. You can see the wedding rings kind of glare a little bit with the sun rising in the background. And, I guess it's like a test of their marriage or whatever. But I'm going to be real, man. Like, his dad is very fucking bland, dude. It's like the stereotypical strong black father cliche that's now taken a hold of comics and media where he's masculine and he's like, this is my son, and it's just he has no personality. Like the dad from the cartoon, you get a sense of community. Like he was standing up for some favorite you son, like I'll teach you how to fight and this and this and that. It's just
Hey, so
boring.
when you read his dialogue, like what voice do you hear in your head, man? When you
Oh,
hear
jeez.
the voice of Robert Hawkins, what does that voice sound like to you, bro?
Oh shit, dude. What voice is that? You know what? I will go with like a half attempt of Ving Rhames. Like someone impersonating Ving Rhames. That's the voice I get. I read his fucking dialogue, dog.
Oh.
or
Oh man.
or homeboy from I forgot his name. Good Times. The father from Good Times.
Oh man. Oh man,
Sorry, I
man.
forgot the actor's name, man. But you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, bro. That's that. So you see, all right, man. All right, continue. So you hear that? So you when you read his dialogue, you hear that same kind of like stock,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm gonna say that stock voice that you
Yes.
hear whenever you get like a black male character in animation. Like that's the voice that you hear, right? I'm not tripping.
Mm-hmm. No, that's exactly the kind of vibes I'm getting from him, man. Because it's not it's just very bland. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's I don't care about his parents' argument what to do with Virgil. Everyone
Yeah.
knows his identity at this point.
And
Uh, yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
Well, I agree with you. Like, I feel like that wasn't really necessary because, again, it goes back to what you were saying there. If Virgil, like, what was the point in putting that kind of pressure on him to save his family and save his home if in the very next issue that moment doesn't actually happen? You know, like
Mm-mm.
and I'm sorry, I apologize to the listener, but we're gonna harken back to some Dragon Ball Z here, right? Every
Right.
episode of Dragon Ball Z ended on a cliffhanger. Not
Mm-hmm.
every cliffhanger led to a payoff, but the ones that needed to be paid off always got paid off. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
We didn't get a Goku transforming into Super Saiyan for him to get depowered in the very next episode after that first transformation. No, he
Nope.
transformed into Super Saiyan and had blonde hair until the end of that fight, right?
Right. Right.
You see, it wasn't there was none of that going on here. Like, and it also kind of makes the villain look like a sucker as well because he was piss and vinegar at the end of issue number one. We had the feeling that this was a blood feud, like somebody was leaving, somebody had to go because of how personal this was. He brought it to Virgil Hawkins' front door, and Virgil was the excuse me, and Virgil was the only one that could stop it. But then in the next issue, like, it's just like minor structural damage. So if it was raining outside, this wouldn't even have been a problem, right?
No, man, like a good little gust of wind would have been gone, man. Like,
And kind of, yeah, and kind of back to what you were saying with the whole family dynamic, right? In issue number one, we were meant to kind of be presented as, yeah, they had a little bit of tit for tat, a little bit of arguments and all of that. But it was presented in issue number one as if a black family with a mother and father was uncommon or meant to be treated as special. But in the very next issue, you have the wife talking down to the husband as if he doesn't know what it's like to be black.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this argument continues. It continues. Like, it's not, I don't know, man.
Bad
Yeah.
pacing. Bad pacing. Uh,
Yeah.
because you're right, it does continue. Like you turn the page, whatever this is, fifth page, and they're like, if you think I'm going to let some cold-blooded lab coat get their hands on that boy, you've lost your mind. The worst quote here is Robert Hawkins. I've been black and a woman my whole damn life. Don't you dare pretend that of the two of us, I don't know how dangerous the medical field can be to black people. Really? You need to say all that to your husband?
No.
Uh, and and it's just the coloring too. It's like this dark. I know it's supposed to be expressive of how the household is feeling right now, and Virgil's just stoic and quiet, and he's just kind of taking it all in. and he's in his room and he's just kind of just frustrated, and it's just it just feels empty. It doesn't really lead up to anything. He could have beat up Hot Streak and literally went back to his room and felt the exact same way of like my life has kind of changed. You know what I'm saying? Like my life has changed and I got some dude attacking me in my home, and
Mm-hmm.
I got a little target on my back now. We didn't need the house supposedly being the fake out of the house being burnt down. I mean, it was good for tension. It was a good cliffhanger. And the next few pages of the next issue, you find out it's all for nothing because it didn't mean anything.
Right. It's like, yeah, I mean the homeowner's insurance is gonna cover this.
Right. No one got hurt. It wasn't like, you had anything of value in there, memories or whatever. Like there was no sense of there was no sense of crisis. There was no sense of danger at all with it. So, man, I mean, moving on,
Oh,
we
hold on,
get
hold on. My
go
bad.
ahead.
My bad. Just one thing here. I just want to read something here. My bad, bro.
No, go ahead, man.
Looks like all you got left is hot air. Damn it. You really thought you did something zapping me, Virgil. Now you know. You didn't want none of this smoke.
Yep.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Yes,
Moving on, cause
sir. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
man.
Yep.
Such a good start to and this we were really thinking this was gonna be a personal, serious feud, and now it's like a Hot Streak shows up, like who the fuck cares now? Like he got jobbed.
Yep. I
Yep.
don't need to see him again.
No, this feud is done, and I was hoping it was gonna stretch out for maybe a few more issues or whatever, but no, or maybe like a Goku Vegeta rivalry or a Naruto Sasuke rivalry or whatever, but nah, man, that ain't the case. He's done. He went from main eventer to now opening the pay per view, so he went to Sunday Night Heat status as far as I'm concerned. So
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. Get Hot Streak out of here, bro.
get Hot Streak out of here. His streak is done. So the pages after that, we get into more exposition, man. We get this teenage high school journalist trying to get information on the Big Bang and interviewing people, and he's an old friend of Virgil, and Virgil's being very emotional and being very just kind of just being a uncooperative pain in the ass. This teenage journalist, he wants to interview Virgil and try to expose the truth of what's going on. Virgil zaps his phone. It's like, you're trying to get my business out there, put a target on my back, and I need you to basically shut up. And the reason why I'm not friends with you anymore is because you're always in my business. Um, it's just very bad. No one cares. Doesn't lead to anything. For the most part, it's filler. Um, yeah, we just see Virgil being more emotional. That's really about it. Next page, we got him on a skateboard, man. He's got the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man thing continuing. Like I mentioned, he's on a skateboard. He's thinking to himself, "I use my powers. I get hungry. I don't know, man. Yada yada yada." He's like, "I need help. Oh, I have help. I'm gonna call Hardware Metcalf. He knows what to do." And within a phone call, he basically gets hooked up with a nice secret hideout with technology and resources that he can use. Um, I don't know. It's just bad, man. We get the journalist talking with the devil dude. Devil dude explains they basically had the Big Bang Part Two happen with Holocaust and a whole lot of street thugged, super powered teenagers hanging out. They basically get their base invaded by there's a basically the police, the SWAT team or whatever, the special forces group, task force, uh, invades their base. Hot Streak disappears, and basically it's everyone for or it's a free for all in the surviving Big Bang babies have to defend themselves against the police. We get Virgil appears to have shown up at the hideout. He opens up the garage door and he sees all these cool tech and his cool stuff, and it ends with a cliffhanger of the police arriving, waiting to arrest Curtis Metcalf. And Virgil's like, "My dad's gonna kill me, and this is going to be a problem."
Oh man.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh
that was
man.
rough.
And kind of buried in between all this here is like there's a really sad story that kind of gets told here with and I mean okay, is this kid who has definitely been physically changed by this Big Bang? What's his name?
I don't think he really has a name yet. I just call him Devil Kid. This demon kid who basically looks like a demon. He's really
Like,
hurting.
yeah, exactly, right? And
Yeah,
I genuinely feel bad for him. I really feel bad for him throughout the course of him kind of telling the story, but it's almost like he's a casualty of the way that everything is being presented here because aside from him, who do you really point to in issue number 2 as being likable? Like, who do you really point to as being relatable? He's the only guy here that's worse for wear. He's the guy that has lost the most as a result of everything that's happened throughout this entire situation. My man with the podcast that gets his phone crushed, he just kind of looks like he's doing his TMZ thing. It doesn't seem. I get that we're meant to believe he's genuine and everything like that, but it doesn't. He doesn't come off as being genuine. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like how? What is he gonna do as a high school student with an iPhone and a podcast to really be able to help someone whose life has been permanently changed as a result of an accident that he didn't even ask for, right? Like, how does it look? You see what I'm saying? How
Yeah.
does he look telling somebody that he's going to help them when he really can't? When we as readers know that he can't help them, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And Virgil Hawkins goes from being he goes from being angry to being sad to being hungry to being inspired when he calls his science teacher, who also happens to be on the run from the feds for a reason that we don't know that hasn't been explained yet, right?
All because he made the gas that was used on the protesters in the Black Lives Matter protest. He created the gas, and the company basically said he's responsible. He made the gas that turned these kids into mutants, and now the police are after him because of that.
Well, wait a minute. But wait. Does Virgil Hawkins know that he invented the gas?
No, I don't think so.
All right, well, I'm sure that'll be a conflict a little bit later. But this character is also hardware, right?
That's hardware. Yep.
Okay, all right. Like, who? Oh, man. I guess what I'm trying to figure out here is yes, this is the story of Virgil Hawkins, Static Shock. But who are the good guys here? Like, what character should I really be rooting for? Because the only guy that I'm really kind of feeling anything towards is the Demon Kid here, because he took the L. Like, this is
Yeah.
his life has forever been altered as a result of this situation here, and Virgil Hawkins is celebrating because of science. Okay,
Damn, dude. I mean, you got a lot of points here because Demon Boy. Let's see. He basically looks like a demon. His parents abandoned him because they were of the religious folk. They tried to get it exorcised out of him, and it obviously wasn't going to work. So they castrated him. They castrated him, abandoned him, and he joins another gang. He tries to join a gang to get a feeling of family, and then he finds out that Holocaust leaves him for dead when their base of operation gets taken down by the feds. So he's really a person on the run with nowhere to really to go, and he can't hide because he looks like a demon. So meanwhile, you have Virgil, who's not affected physically, who has powers, who still has a family, who still has a house, who still, if he could just control his powers and keep his mouth shut, he could live on a normal life like nothing ever happened. Yet he's emotional. Yet he's angry. Yet he's upset. And you know what I'm saying? It's like he's not even facing. Yes, he faced trauma, but he's not facing half the trauma of this demon boy that's getting. It's like I almost want to continue the series with him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just to see him trying to catch a W or something. Um, because I mean, you're right. There's no one really to root for. All these characters are very, I don't know, very hollow. I don't care for Virgil's family anymore. Hot Street took a L. I don't care about, let's see, his friend in the beginning, the first page is developing powers. I don't even know her fucking name. How are you just gonna Daisy? Her name is Daisy. Like I don't care about Daisy. She got glitch powers. She can, do I don't know glitch powers in reality or some shit like that. Like I don't care. Like they didn't. The writer hasn't given me a reason to care about any of these characters except the Demon Boy and Holocaust. Now looking at the page, I think they reused the same art that they did in Milestone Zero for this
Right.
page. Um, yeah, man, it's not a good story. It's really, I don't know. He's inspired to become a superhero by talking to his scientist friend Metcalf. But where is the transition of being a superhero? All because
The
somebody
parents
said
were arguing.
his parents were arguing, and let's see, when he took the house, he stopped the fire in the house. What did someone said? Um, oh, on the page where he basically stopped the house from being on fire, someone says, "Damn, that's straight superhero stuff right there." And on the next page, his father's like, he can use his abilities to get further ahead in life. That's the inspiration to become a superhero.
Nah,
I'm not buying that.
nah. Like and not to over exaggerate it here, but like I really feel kind of, I, I'm at the end of this issue. I feel more raw. Like I feel kind of raw about issue number two because I get it. Like it can't all be optimism and hope and all of these things here. It can't be all of that. But
Hmm.
where are we going with this? And when we get to where we are going, is it going to make sense? And is it going to be better than where we are now?
Uh I know he
These are
gets
the
to sue in the
questions,
next issue. I know that the next issue is supposed to be his superhero reveal, so to speak.
man.
But it's like I don't it's not really earned and it's not really presented in a way that makes sense at all. Um this honestly this feels corporate as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. This feels corporate as fuck.
Hmm.
Um, Even to the cover where you see him in his costume and it's supposed to be this cool ass showdown between him and Hot Streak and his parents and his family in the background. They look like they can get hurt and like shit's real, about to get real, and that's not presented at all in this comic. And this is just very by the numbers. It's very cold, very callous, very just like um like you basically put a couple keywords into this computer algorithm, say make a Static Shock comic, and this is what it came up with.
Mm.
uh
Right, right,
yeah.
right. Like, yeah, that I don't know if I could have worded that any better. I agree with you on that. This feels like a composite version of what somebody thinks a Static Shock comic book would be meant to appeal to a certain demographic. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of passion behind this issue number 2.
Nah, it doesn't. And I know we gave Vita Ayala her props for number 1, but this is definitely a huge decline from number 2. Whatever juice she had for that first issue is very easily gone. And I know, it's hard to do certain pacings. Like, okay, issue 1 is strong. Issue 2 is like, damn, I got to get through it, and I'll pick it back up in 3 and 4, whatever. But you will lose a lot of readers to the point where they won't even read your number 3 if you don't have something that's competent. And this is not competent. There's even like there's a lot you can do with this to make the stakes higher, to make me want to read a number 3 easily, and this does not do it at all, man. Virgil this is like, just read Miles Morales.
He's on thin ice, man.
He's on thin ice.
Virgil. Yeah, man. Virgil is on thin ice right now, bro.
Like, it's sad, but it's true. It's like, and I know it's like Miles is sort of the offspring of Static, but it's like, just at this point, it's like, yo, like, just read the latest Miles Morales Spider-Man comic book. Boom, there you go. Because this is very, I don't know, man. This is just very bland. It just seems like it's trying to reach a certain demographic, but these kids, man, like,
fuck these kids.
They relate to Deku and My Hero Academia. And this is a kid who cries, who had no superpowers and got superpowers, and is trying to be the number 1 hero. And he's, he faces problems. There's consequences to his actions. He doesn't just master his powers. He doesn't always succeed. He needs help. You know what I'm saying? And this is a character of Virgil who just, everything is given to him. There's no high stakes. And, like, kids, I know what they're going for, but this is very, like, they're trying to do a too cool for school type take on it. And this is not going to appeal to these younger readers. I'm telling you right now, this shit is not going to fly. And it's not going to fly with the older fans like us who grew up on the character. So it's kind of like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. It's like you're trying to appease a new generation with the anime manga style, and you want to have the older fans come back and buy this one. And honestly, to tell you the truth, it's like, it's us who's buying the comics, not these 8, 9, 10-year-olds are playing Fortnite. They're watching My Hero Academia. They ain't buying no damn Static Shock comic book. And it's the parents. And it's the fathers who are buying multiple copies and giving it to their sons. But that's about it, man. Like, this shit should just, honestly, I know we got 3 more issues to go, but it's
need some heat. I need some heat these next issues, man.
Yeah, y'all need some recitation. Y'all gonna need something to jolt this shit back to life, man. Because if this continues very standard, I don't want to finish it, man. If number 3 is, doesn't bring some life back into it, he gets the costume. It's like, all right, cool. All right. Like, there's no reason to read it, man. It's very, especially after reading some of the shit I've read in the last few days, it's just very blasé, man.
4 out of 10.
4 out of, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10 too, dude. This is just very it's a bad comic, man. This shit's not gonna please anybody. It's a bad fucking comic, dude. Oh man, that's all I gotta say, man. There's really nothing more to say about it. There's nothing more to say about it. We literally had like a dead end of, I can't decipher anything. I can't read into any of the dialogue. There's no cameos or like. This is it. So I'm not sure. All you listeners out there, let us know what you thought about Static number 2. We're not feeling it. Maybe you are. Maybe you can bring up some points to us that we're missing. Maybe there's some, I don't know, some backstory that we're missing from this, but I don't know, man. We ain't digging it. All right, man. I'm gonna be real, man. I feel no obligation to support this bullshit. I don't. I don't. I'm be real with you. I know we need more, black representation, and I know certain Facebook groups are saying buy this, buy Static. And it's like I don't feel any obligation to buy this shit. This is a cash fucking grab, man. I don't. It's like there's plenty other people I can give my money towards. If I don't support Static Shock, the new Static series from DC Comics, and I get my black card removed, so fucking be it, dude. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like trash is trash, regardless of what it is, and especially if it's from DC Comics, they ain't missing my fucking money. They're gonna sell another Batman book and make up for this shit, no problem, man. Like,
Oh man, yeah. Another reboot, another crisis.
yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
DC ain't missing our dollars with this bullshit, man. I'm not, no, dude. Like, honestly, in Milestone, if they were, this is, I'm not even, this is, I don't know what Milestone this is, but if they were, it's like they're owned by DC. Like, this is not black dollars going to black company. Like, they're owned. DC owns them now, man. And like, if they really had the freedom, they should just went to, honestly, they should went to Image. I'll be real
Word.
frank with you. They should have probably went to Image. Um,
Word.
if they really wanted that freedom, if they really wanted a sense of we're doing our own, stories or whatever. But yeah, man, y'all not gonna guilt trip me into buying new Static Shock and supporting. Y'all not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it. There's too many other books out there. There's way too much going on. There's just too many other comics out there I can buy and be entertained and know
Man.
that yes, I know comics are, you want to get an audience, you want to sell, but there's yeah, I'm not feeling bad about it. I have no remorse, especially after this number 2. I got no remorse. If Icon of Rocket and number 2 sucks and number 3 sucks, like I have no, like, okay, I'm not gonna finish it. Like, fuck it.
Chopping block.
Chopping block, man. I'm not gonna waste my time. If hardware number 1 comes out and that shit ain't fire, guess what? Chopping block, man. I'm not buying that shit, dude. I'm not. I'm not gonna pay, what is this, $3.99? I'm not gonna pay like $20 for some mediocre comics, man. I'm not gonna do it.
Man.
I'm not doing this shit, dude. I will buy Tuskegee Airs number 4. I will buy. There's plenty of other books out there. Bitterroot Volume 2, Philadelphia. I'll
Mm.
buy some more Delta Dog issues. Like I'm good, man. I don't need to be. I don't need to be pressured and feeling shame for not buying the latest Static Shock shit. This is the same kind of shit we talk about. People complain about Marvel and DC and keep buying their bullshit. It's like y'all doing the exact same thing just because there's a black character.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. I get what you're saying, man. Yeah. You would rather, and I agree with you on this. I would rather stop. That's how you make the statement right there. You don't make the statement by getting. You don't make the statement by complaining about it. You make the statement by making your decision to not continue to spend your hard-earned money on something that you feel is subpar in quantity. You know what I'm saying? If going forward we continue to get a substandard product out of Static Shock, it will no longer be reviewed on the behind the scene podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, it will no longer
Yep.
be reviewed. You know what I'm saying? We might fuck around and review some retro issues of Static Shock if
Right.
this trend continues here. So there is no obligation whatsoever to support a substandard product. Not when, nah, man. I agree with you 100%, man. Hashtag chopping block, hashtag shovel season.
Burying this shit like the Undertaker, man.
Man, word, word. Cause this, yeah, man. Yeah. This.
we're, we're too grown. They got too much time on our hands to just to waste on this shit, man. It's just,
Facts.
nah, nope.
You know, on that note, I need to pour another drink, man. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
man.
What,
I'm either.
what the fuck?